Now, as we've been hearing, Downing Street has challenged a suggestion by the Chancellor Philip Hammond that any change to the UK's trade relations with the EU after Brexit could be very modest. For more on this, let's talk to Brexit supporter Jacob Rees Mogg. He's the Conservative MP for North East Somerset and joins us from his constituency. A very good morning to you. So that
Hello, good
distancing
morning.
Of number 10 from those comments by Philip Hammond, has that been emphatic enough for you, and does it represent the sort of fundamental change of tone that you've been calling for?
Well, I'm very reassured that number 10 Downing Street is sticking to the Lancaster House speech and to the Conservative Party manifesto. It's a pity that number 11 Downing Street is undermining government policy, and I'm very reassured that the Prime Minister and her office has been so clear. And of course the Prime Minister is authoritative. She is First Lord of the Treasury, the Chancellor Second Lord.
You said in a newspaper article earlier this month that it's essential that the PM and Chancellor improve their working relationship and advocate the same policies. No government works when these two figures are not united, you wrote. So what are the problems going forward as you see them?
Well, I think this is not a good position for the Chancellor to be in, to be undermining the Prime Minister, that it is of the utmost urgency that he should unite his position with that of the Prime Minister and with that of the Conservative Party. I think a little bit of freelancing in Davos is very unhelpful.
Well, there's been freelancing going on by various members of the Cabinet recently on various subjects, hasn't there? But, I mean, do you think that Mr Hammond's position is in doubt? Should Theresa May have a very stern word with him or replace him even?
Well, I think 10 Downing Street's clarification is effectively a stern word. It's clearly an implied rebuke for the Chancellor, but it's a matter for the Prime Minister whether or not she has confidence in him.
Well, in fact, actually, we have just literally received a line from the lobby from a spokesperson for Theresa May saying that she does have full confidence in Mr Hammond. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I fully support the Prime Minister in delivering the Brexit that she has set out in Lancaster House and in the Conservative Party manifesto, that I think will bring huge benefits to the country, cheaper cost of food, clothing and footwear, helping the poorest in society most. And if she's got confidence in the Chancellor, that's good enough for me. Now,
you've warned that the 50 members of the European Research Group, of which you are chairman, could withdraw support from Mrs May if she looks for a new customs union or a variation of a customs union with the EU. You're shaking your head there. I was just going to ask you, but obviously you can't have that customs union. Go ahead.
Sorry, two things have been elided. There's no question of us removing support from Mrs May. We fully support Mrs May and the proposals that she has made for Brexit. There is an aspect of it where there are concerns, and this is over a specific part of the bill on the customs union. So I don't want to bring those two together. They're separate. There's a couple of clauses in the customs bill that we have doubts about, or many of us have doubts about, but we fully support the Prime Minister.
But you can't have both that withdrawal from the customs union, can you, and the frictionless border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. So, number one, what do you see as a solution to that? And number two, do you have any red lines as far as the Prime Minister's position is concerned in terms of the ongoing negotiations?
You can have a frictionless border between the North and South, between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. That's a matter of political will. Bear in mind that in Northern Ireland you already have a different rate of VAT, different duties on fuel, on cigarettes, on alcohol than you do in the Republic of Ireland, and therefore there is a border already. How you police that border is a different question, and the UK government has made it clear that it will not have border patrols, border points, border checkpoints, and we can simply say to the EU and to the Republic of Ireland, we're not going to man that border, what are you going to do?
And on the second point, those red lines, as far as you're concerned, I mean, if you don't get what you want in this, at what point do you take action against Theresa May?
Well, Mrs May has my full support because she has set out her own red lines, and I support her red lines, which are set out in Lancaster House, 12 points, the most important of which are that we should take control of our laws, and that means being out of the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. We should take control of our borders, so we're responsible for our own immigration policy. And that we should be free to do deals with the rest of the world, and that means out of the customs union and out of the single market. I fully support Mrs May's position. I'm slightly more worried that the Chancellor doesn't.
But do you think that she is leading bold enough moves and bold enough strategies? Because a number of your colleagues have criticised her in recent days, saying that she simply isn't really grasping this process and getting on with it and doing the best job that she can.
I fully support the Prime Minister. What more can I say? I'll bore your listeners if I keep on repeating myself, but she has my full confidence in the policy she set out in Lancaster House in the Tory Party manifesto. OK, Jacob Rees-Mogg, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you very much. They thought we'd just roll over and have our tummies tickled, and they've suddenly discovered that the British bulldog doesn't behave like that.